I remember there was a trend where they were breaking their legs to stretch out their legs to be taller.
That sounds like torture.
I do recall my grandma told me that, so she might have lied to me.
She also said never trust them. I don't know what that was about.
She read these magazines. Did I ever tell you about Chat?
No.
My grandma used to buy these magazines called Chat, and they were always like, okay, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge childhood memory and routine where I'd go to my grandma's house and I would pull her weekly Chat out of her little magazine bin, and I'd read Chat. But basically, Chat was for old ladies, and it was written for old ladies. So you would open a story and it would be like shock factor 10 out of 10 or shock factor 9.8 out of 10, and then it would the story would always start with. I was having a nice cuppa with my boy. We were in the kitchen when suddenly I fell on my bottom. No, it was slightly more shocking than that. It was always, it truly was always shocking. It was always like, I was having a lovely night in when suddenly my husband raped and killed our whole family with a butter knife. It was always that kind of shit, but they always started.
How'd she write it then?
Because my grandma just loved reading sadistic shit, like murder stories and stuff like that. But they always used the fucking word cuppa for a cup of tea, and it was in every single fucking story. It was always like, I was enjoying a nice cuppa with my nephew when suddenly my dog came in and fucked me in front of him. It was terrible. It was the way they were written.
I'm glad I wrote about it, though.
Every week as a kid, I read at least 3 stories like that, and that's probably why I'm such a fucking idiot.
Were they really that intense every time?
I swear to God, one of them was literally just, I fucked my son, and now all my friends hate me.
Oh my God.
Like, it was shock factor 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 was very rare, by the way. And that was the one where she's like, me and my boy were never that close. We always enjoyed a nice cuppa, but we never did too much together. Anyway, one day I was
pushed me too far.
I was bending over, and he may have gotten a little erection. Next thing we knew, we were fucking in his bed.
And he was trapped in my bottom, and I fell on it.
But it was always like that. It was always a nice cuppa. But yeah, those were the good days of Chat. If anyone out there in the world has a huge collection of Chat magazines from the 90s,
scan them.
I will pay you a lot of money for them.
Well, I feel like that's something that happens with old people. They get more sadistic. They enjoy that shit.
It's just interesting reading about serial killers and murder stories.
Did you read about Betty and what happened?
I can't believe he also enjoyed a nice cuppa.
I had a friend when I was younger that would walk
CRISPR
into...
juice gives you wings.
He would walk into Irish chippers because he was poor.
What?
And
What's a chipper?
Like
a
wood chipper? No, a fish and chips.
A chippery.
A takeaway.
Chippery.
Yeah, so he'd walk in and go, can I have a bag of batter? Because they would just have bags of batter, like... They would scrape the oven of the batter to get rid of it, and then they would just put it into little bags, and he would just go in and ask for them and just eat batter. For free.
Well, to be fair, when I was a kid, that's pretty much my favorite part of like anything, like fried chicken.
No,
when I was a kid,
great,
I would just eat the outside, the skin. I just leave the meat.
To eat like connected to the skin is good, but batter on its own is fucking. I was gonna
say this is uncooked batter, is it? Or it is the crispy pieces. Of
it's
the batter.
only the crispy pieces.
Oh, I see. That's not that bad.
It's fucking terrible. What are you talking
you were
about?
Describing like bags of raw batter.
No, I'm talking.
You.
He would go in and eat massive bags of it. It's like the worst possible thing you could put in your body. Except for crocodile.
Except for nothing.
And crocodile. Oh yeah, if you don't eat, you die.
Have I ever told you that kind of did happen to me in real life? Where
Wait, what? In what regard?
Yeah, what aspect of that story?
The fact where some guy he like came into Wexford, this like Italian guy, and like he like took over like he was just some random guy.
That is so stupid.
And everyone started like loving him, being like
he became a celebrity.
Give me a cool Italian name. We'll call him that because I don't want to give him the real name.
Go for Giuseppe.
Okay, so Giuseppe moves into Wexford. He's an unknown guy, right? Well, this was in at least my parents' circle of friends, but this guy came in. Everyone's like, who is this guy? And he's like, I'm buying this restaurant. He bought a restaurant. And then everyone's like, wow, he bought the restaurant. He's amazing. And then he just started like going to everything, like being the host of everything, every party. He was just there, right? And everyone's like, wow, he's such an interesting character. Where did he come from? He married some woman. He jumped into like, do you remember when you visited Wexford? There was like this like shit river in the middle of town.
Yes, I did with that.
He literally was like, if this football team wins, I'm going to jump in that river. And then they
Oh.
won. He jumped in. He cut his leg open on a shopping trolley. He got a tetanus shot.
Oh my! Wait, he almost like had like a septic infection where he had like a wound with like shit inside of it.
Yeah. And then one day, my uncle told me this story where he was hanging out with my dad, my uncle, and then he was just like, hey,
Nemo.
take a drink of this coffee, right? And
Nemo.
I was like, no, I don't want to do that. He's like, go on, take a drink. And my uncle took the lid off the coffee and he put his finger in it and it like scalded him, like, and he's just like, you got me. Like, he pretty much was like, I'll get you another time.
Oh my! He tried to burn.
Yeah,
this guy's
he's like this crazy fucking guy. And then eventually one guy was like, this guy's kind of like, he owes me a lot of money. And then he started going around asking everyone else, being like, hey, like, you guys know Giuseppe? Like, does he owe you money? And everyone was like, he owes me thousands of dollars.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I know, he was crazy.
This
And
guy
then-
just came over and took over a whole town.
Yeah, and then once like the word got out that he owed everyone thousands of dollars, he literally just fucking bailed, and no one ever heard from him again. And he married a girl, like he married a woman, and he just left her.
And he left the wife.
Yeah, it was
I
fucking
love
wild.
that. I love. Dude, this guy's probably been all over the world doing that.
Probably.
Moves to a new country, jumps into a new
He
shit
was like
river.
getting like interviews on the radio and shit. Everyone's like, so who are you? And what you? It was fucking. It was the weirdest shit ever. Like,
That is like an episode of a TV show.
It really is.
A new guy moves into town and everyone loves him. And then he gets a septic
it
wound
was
in his
literally
leg.
like Armin Tamzarian shit. It was like crazy. But yeah, wherever he is, I hope he's dead.
Wherever you are, please let everyone know you're safe. We need to know you're okay. These ice crystals, I don't get it.
He really fucked up people though. Like he left like a devastated family and shit. It was really
He
sad.
left a big black hole.
Pretty much.
Big
I was gonna
Giuseppe-shaped
say a
hole
big
in our hearts.
Giuseppe-shaped hole.
Hopefully he got karma and comeuppance.
It sounds like he did just by the fact that he got called out to begin with.
Yeah, the guy who called him out was like a hero.
I love that he jumped into a big river and got a big cut on his leg.
Dude, the
They said,
river is
oh,
disgusting.
Giuseppe, you're so septic.
Yeah,
And he
There's
went,
this place
"Oh,
in
that's
Wexford
me."
called the Crescent where it's just literally a bowl of shit.
And he probably drank a little bit from it too when he jumped.
I'm trying to think if there was any other Giuseppe stories that were funny.
That scalding story is fucking scary because he's like a demon. He tried to trick somebody into burning them
No,
up.
he was like an evil bastard.
He sounds like it.
But he was also charismatic enough to take over the whole town.
I just
That's what's scary about it, though. Is it kind of makes you think like, oh, all these people around me are just fucking susceptible to getting Giuseppe.
If Giuseppe had run for like public office, if you like ran for mayor of Wexford, do you think he would have won?
I believe he tried.
Really?
I believe he tried, yeah.
And he didn't win?
Nah.
Did he
Who
do okay?
won?
Did he do okay?
I don't think so.
It's me, Giuseppe.
He kind of feels like a guy where he was like this big, fat, bald Italian man. And it kind of feels like maybe like the nice Irish Wexford people were like, wow, how exotic. But back
Yeah.
in Italy, he was probably just some schlubby
piece of
like
shit.
that nobody would
He was
fall
like a
for this
reject,
shit.
yeah. Well, it's like a big fish or a small fish in a. Sorry, a big fish in a small pond. I mean.
Exactly.